Hi everyone, this is Ripper of Ripper Gaming, and today I'm going to be doing a best settings video for FIFA 23. There's not a lot of settings here, so it's pretty easy to get it set up. I will say that it just seems to take a lot more resources than most games when it comes to the ROG Ally. So we can't run it at the highest settings like we might want to. So that being said, this was a request from one of my comments, so got it going. Found another issue which I posted another video on, and we'll go through the settings. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here, and we'll just go through those settings first, and then we'll do some gameplay. Alright, so we're gonna go over here to the little gear icon. That's our settings icon, settings again, and then game settings. So once we get in here, we can jump all the way over to display configuration. So I personally prefer to run every game in 1080p on the Ally because it can usually handle it. Even Cyberpunk will run 35 to 40 frames in 1080. Now this one we have to set the resolution to 720. I cannot get decent performance out of it at 1080. So we set our resolution to 1280 by 720. Our display mode at full screen. We don't really need a limit on FPS. I mean, I guess you can limit that if you want to for battery reasons, but I keep that to no limit. We want the dynamic resolution scale on. This just helps it to adjust the resolution while you're playing to keep it running decently. We're taking off strand-based hair. Anything that pushes it on this game just is not going to be helpful for us because of the slowdowns I've noticed in it. Rendering quality still looks pretty decent. We have to keep it at low. I've tried it on medium, but there are definitely some areas of slowdown. It's even been mentioned in my comments that you'll see some slowdowns when you've got people celebrating after a goal, that kind of thing. So after you do all these settings, make sure that you save them and make sure that you restart the game because they won't take effect unless you restart the game. Now I've already done that. I've already got the settings the way I want them. So we're also going to go up here and check something. So I have AMD RSR on. Now the game is set to 720, so it changes this. When I'm outside of the game, that will go back to 1080p. But with AMD RSR on, the game will set it to 720p, and that should upscale it for us. So I am running in turbo mode. I will show you performance in both turbo and performance, but really this game probably needs turbo in order to run decently. So let's go ahead and jump out, and I'll go ahead and tell you off the bat, I am not a FIFA player. So I'm not going to be good at this, right? I'm just going to play around a little bit just so you can kind of see the performance. So you can talk about how bad I am because I will probably be horrible at it. I'm going to go ahead and go into here and turn on the real-time monitor. I'll move that down here a little bit so we can see that. And just so you know, I am not plugged in right now. I'm running off turbo mode without being plugged in. So I am a little surprised to see that APU wattage at 30, but we'll wait until the game gets going here and see. Okay, so the text is a little hard to see on the actual character, but everything else looks to be fairly clear. I think that's due to it being 720p. Oh, there you go. That shows you how good I am. Okay, so we'll let this play for a second because it's going to have its turbo mode where it kind of runs for up to 2 minutes and then it's going to settle down. So you can see now we're running around 26 watts and you can see we're getting 105 FPS. So it's probably easier for the computer to score than for me to score. So of course we'll give it a try here. Let's see if we can get a score. But you play it for a minute and it will slow down some and kind of normalize as far as the speed is concerned. So let's see if we can get a score here. Oh, it got blocked. So when you see the crowd, you might see the FPS go down some. Like, see, we're down to 59 here. So it will slow down when you see the crowd, when you see celebrating, that kind of thing. And there's no real fix to get around that I can see. Oh, well, great. I passed it to the opposite team. So, anyway, I mean, as you can see, it's playing decently. So now that this is starting to kind of normalize here, we're going to go ahead and try to switch it down to performance mode. So I think it'll still play decently in that mode. There we go. I stole it. I almost look like I know what I'm doing. I was hoping to get to where I could be lucky enough to have a goal so you could kind of see how it looks. But yeah, there you go. You see the crowd and you see the FPS drop down. It got down into the 20s. I think I saw 22 on there. So alright, and of course once you just have the field, you're back up to decent. So let's go ahead and switch this over to performance mode. This is the 15 watt mode. And in performance mode, we're still getting in the 80s. Now it is, the APU is starting to kind of ramp down there. It's at 20, kind of probably turboing, so it'll drop down to 20 watts and then to 15 watts most likely. Okay, so let's see here. We're at 19 watts. We'll let it go down a little bit, but you can see the performance is still pretty decent here. But we will probably see some actual slowdown when we get to the point to where you've actually got the crowd jumping up and down, that kind of stuff. Any type of celebrations or any type of penalty calls. Alright, so we're showing the crowd now. We're getting up close. We're still doing in the 60s, 50s. So I would go ahead and say that in our performance mode, it's definitely playable at these settings. You just might have to know that you might experience some type of slowdown when you actually get to the celebrations. One of my commenters was saying that it was pretty bad, so I guess it just depends on how you've got the settings. But at these settings, I feel like it's not going to be so bad that you can't still enjoy the game. So hopefully that helps to get this playing, especially if you're a big soccer fan, football, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this runs decent enough for me. Now there you go. We see it now. You see it slow down to 22, 14. So yeah, it definitely slows down a little bit at that point. So these celebrations, I don't know if there's much we can do about that. You will see that slow down. But for your actual gameplay, it plays very well. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful to you. This is Ripper of Ripper Gaming again. If you like my videos, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. And thanks everyone.